Picture this: massive 18-wheeler trucks thundering down interstate highways at 70 miles per hour, carrying thousands of gallons of water and tens of thousands of live catfish from the muddy waters of Mississippi all the way to the bustling fish markets of Chicago in just 12 hours. This isn't your average cargo shipment. This is one of America's most incredible logistical operations that combines cutting-edge aquaculture technology with precision timing to deliver fresh, living fish across half the continent faster than most people can drive the same distance. Before we dive into this absolutely mind-blowing story that reveals secrets of the live fish transport industry that will leave you amazed, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell because we're about to uncover one of the most fascinating and profitable transportation operations you've never heard of that generates millions of dollars while racing against time and biology. The story begins in the heart of Mississippi's catfish country, where sprawling aquaculture farms stretch across thousands of acres of carefully managed ponds that produce some of the highest quality catfish in the world. These aren't small family operations. We're talking about industrial-scale fish farming facilities that can house millions of catfish in precisely controlled environments designed to maximize growth rates and ensure optimal health. The farms use sophisticated water management systems, automated feeding equipment, and constant monitoring to maintain perfect conditions for catfish development, from fingerlings to market-ready fish weighing several pounds each. When harvest time arrives, the logistics of moving these living, breathing products becomes a race against time that requires split-second coordination and specialized equipment. The trucks themselves are engineering marvels that represent the pinnacle of live animal transport technology. Each vehicle is essentially a mobile aquarium system capable of maintaining perfect water conditions for thousands of fish during extended highway travel. The tank systems are custom-built with multiple compartments, advanced filtration equipment, oxygen injection systems, and temperature control mechanisms that can adapt to changing weather conditions and road vibrations. These aren't converted tanker trucks, they're purpose-built vehicles that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars and incorporate decades of research into fish biology, transportation stress, and mobile life support systems. What makes this operation so extraordinary is the precision timing required to coordinate harvest, loading, transport, and delivery across multiple time zones while maintaining optimal conditions for live fish. The process begins before dawn at Mississippi fish farms, where crews use specialized equipment to harvest mature catfish from production ponds without causing stress or injury that could compromise their survival during transport. The fish are carefully sorted, counted, and loaded into the transport trucks using techniques developed specifically for catfish physiology and behavior. Every minute counts because the longer fish remain in transport conditions, the higher the risk of mortality that could turn a profitable shipment into a total loss. The loading process itself is a carefully choreographed operation that involves multiple teams working simultaneously to transfer fish from farm ponds to transport trucks as quickly and safely as possible. Specialized pumping systems gently move fish through large-diameter hoses that minimize handling stress while maintaining water flow and oxygen levels. The trucks are pre-positioned at loading stations equipped with backup power systems, emergency equipment, and communication systems that allow constant monitoring of fish conditions throughout the loading process. Quality control specialists monitor water chemistry, fish behavior, and loading density to ensure that each truck departs with optimal conditions for successful transport. Once loaded, each truck becomes a mobile ecosystem carrying anywhere from 15 to 25,000 pounds of live catfish in carefully managed water systems that must maintain perfect conditions for the entire 12-hour journey. The drivers operating these vehicles aren't ordinary truck drivers, they're specially trained professionals who understand fish biology, equipment operation, and emergency procedures required for live animal transport. They monitor water quality parameters, adjust oxygen levels, and maintain communication with dispatch centers that track every aspect of the journey from departure to delivery. The route planning for these operations involves sophisticated logistics that account for traffic patterns, weather conditions, fuel stops, and emergency contingencies while maintaining the tight schedules required for live fish delivery. The trucks follow predetermined routes that avoid construction zones, minimize elevation changes that affect water pressure, and include strategic stops where drivers can check fish conditions and make adjustments to life support systems. GPS tracking and satellite communication systems allow real-time monitoring of each shipment, with backup support teams positioned along the route ready to respond to any equipment failures or emergency situations. Temperature management during transport requires constant attention because catfish are sensitive to temperature fluctuations that can cause stress, reduce survival rates, or affect the quality of the final product. The trucks are equipped with sophisticated climate control systems that can maintain optimal water temperature regardless of outside weather conditions, from the hot humidity of Mississippi summers to the freezing winters of Illinois. Advanced insulation systems and backup heating and cooling equipment ensure that fish remain in their optimal temperature range throughout the journey, even during extended delays or equipment problems. The technology packed into these mobile aquariums represents millions of dollars in research and development focused on solving the unique challenges of transporting live fish across long distances at highway speeds. Each truck contains multiple independent life support systems that can operate even if primary systems fail, ensuring that fish survival remains high even during equipment emergencies. Advanced water filtration systems continuously remove waste products and maintain water quality that meets or exceeds the conditions fish experienced in their original farm ponds. Oxygen injection systems maintain dissolved oxygen levels that support thousands of fish even in crowded transport conditions, while pH monitoring and adjustment systems ensure that water chemistry remains within optimal ranges throughout the journey. The drivers who pilot these aquatic cargo haulers undergo extensive training that combines commercial driving skills with aquaculture knowledge and emergency response procedures. They learn to recognize signs of fish stress, understand how road conditions affect water movement and fish behavior, and master the operation of complex life support equipment that keeps their living cargo healthy during transport. Many drivers have backgrounds in fish farming or aquaculture, bringing practical experience that helps them make critical decisions during transport when equipment adjustments or route changes might mean the difference between successful delivery and catastrophic loss. Communication systems aboard these trucks provide constant connectivity with dispatch centers, fish farms, destination facilities, and emergency support teams positioned along transport routes. Real-time monitoring allows remote experts to track water quality, fish behavior, and equipment performance throughout the journey, providing guidance and support to drivers when conditions require adjustments or emergency interventions. Advanced telemetry systems can alert support teams to potential problems before they become critical, enabling proactive responses that prevent fish mortality and ensure successful deliveries. The economic stakes of these operations are enormous, with each truck carrying cargo worth tens of thousands of dollars that can become worthless if fish mortality exceeds acceptable levels during transport. The catfish industry depends on these specialized transport services to connect Mississippi producers with markets throughout the Midwest and beyond, enabling farm operations to serve customers far from production areas. The speed and reliability of 12-hour transport services allow restaurants and retailers to offer fresh, live catfish to customers who demand the highest quality products, creating market opportunities that wouldn't exist without these specialized logistics capabilities. Quality control throughout the transport process involves continuous monitoring of fish behavior, water conditions, and equipment performance using both automated systems and trained human observers. Drivers conduct regular visual inspections of fish activity, checking for signs of stress, disease, or mortality that could indicate problems with transport conditions. Water testing equipment provides real-time analysis of critical parameters like dissolved oxygen, ammonia levels, pH, and temperature, allowing immediate adjustments when conditions drift outside optimal ranges. Emergency protocols ensure that drivers can respond quickly to equipment failures, route delays, or other situations that might compromise fish survival. The loading and unloading procedures at both ends of the journey require specialized equipment and trained personnel who understand the unique requirements of live fish handling. At Mississippi farms, loading crews use gentle transfer methods that minimize stress while maximizing efficiency, ensuring that trucks depart on schedule with healthy fish in optimal transport conditions. At Chicago destinations, unloading teams work quickly to transfer fish to holding facilities or processing equipment, maintaining the cold chain and minimizing handling stress that could affect final product quality. Route optimization for these time-critical shipments involves sophisticated planning that accounts for traffic patterns, weather forecasts, construction schedules, and fuel availability while maintaining the tight timing required for live fish transport. Backup routes are planned for every shipment, allowing drivers to avoid delays while maintaining optimal conditions for fish survival. Weather monitoring systems provide early warning of conditions that might affect transport safety or fish welfare, enabling proactive route adjustments that prevent problems before they occur. The maintenance requirements for these specialized vehicles are extensive and critical, with every system requiring regular inspection, testing, and replacement to ensure reliable operation during time-critical transport missions. Mobile repair teams are positioned along major transport routes, equipped with spare parts and expertise needed to repair equipment failures that could compromise fish survival. Preventive maintenance schedules ensure that trucks receive comprehensive inspections and component replacements before problems can develop into failures that might endanger valuable cargo. The fish themselves undergo careful preparation before transport to ensure they're in optimal condition for the stressful journey from Mississippi to Chicago. Pre-transport conditioning involves gradually adjusting fish to transport densities, reducing feeding schedules to minimize waste production during transport, and conducting health screenings to identify any fish that might not survive the journey. Only the healthiest, most robust fish are selected for long-distance transport, ensuring that mortality rates remain within acceptable limits and that delivered fish meet the quality standards demanded by Chicago markets. The economic impact of these transport operations extends far beyond the immediate value of the fish cargo, supporting entire supply chains that include feed suppliers, equipment manufacturers, maintenance services, and the restaurants and retailers that depend on reliable delivery of live catfish. Each successful transport operation generates revenue that supports jobs in rural Mississippi communities where fish farms provide economic opportunities in areas with limited industrial development. The Chicago end of the operation supports urban businesses that process, distribute, and sell catfish products to consumers throughout the Midwest. Emergency response procedures for these operations are as sophisticated as those used by emergency medical services, recognizing that the living cargo requires immediate intervention when problems occur. Each truck carries emergency equipment including backup oxygen systems, water treatment chemicals, portable generators, and communication equipment that can summon specialized assistance when needed. Driver training includes emergency procedures for equipment failures, traffic accidents, and severe weather conditions that might require immediate action to preserve fish survival. The seasonal variations in these transport operations reflect the biology of catfish production and the seasonal demand patterns in Chicago markets. Summer operations face challenges from high temperatures that increase fish metabolism and oxygen consumption, requiring enhanced cooling and oxygenation systems. Winter transport deals with freezing temperatures that can affect equipment operation and require additional heating systems to maintain optimal fish conditions. Spring and fall operations often involve the highest volumes as fish farms harvest mature stock and Chicago markets prepare for peak demand periods. Quality assurance throughout the entire process involves documentation and tracking that follows each shipment from farm to final destination, creating accountability and enabling continuous improvement in transport procedures. Fish mortality rates are tracked for every shipment, with detailed analysis of factors that contribute to losses and identification of improvements that can enhance survival rates. Customer feedback from Chicago buyers provides valuable information about fish condition upon arrival, helping transport companies refine their procedures to meet market quality standards. The competitive advantages of the 12-hour transport time frame give Mississippi catfish farmers access to markets that would otherwise be served by local producers or imported products. The ability to deliver live fish to Chicago faster than many competitors can ship frozen products creates market opportunities that support premium pricing and customer loyalty. Restaurants and retailers value the consistency and reliability of these transport services, often building their supply chains around the predictable delivery schedules that these specialized operations provide. Technology development continues to improve these transport operations with innovations in life support systems, monitoring equipment, and communication capabilities that enhance fish survival rates and operational efficiency. Research partnerships with universities and aquaculture organizations drive improvements in transport methods, fish handling techniques, and equipment design that benefit the entire industry. Advanced analytics and data collection systems help identify factors that affect transport success, enabling continuous refinement of procedures and equipment specifications. The regulatory environment governing live fish transport involves federal transportation regulations, animal welfare standards, and food safety requirements that ensure these operations meet high standards for safety and product quality. Regular inspections and certifications verify that transport companies maintain equipment and procedures that comply with all applicable regulations. Industry associations provide training, standards development, and advocacy that support the interests of companies involved in live fish transport operations. The market dynamics driving demand for live catfish transport from Mississippi to Chicago reflect broader trends in the seafood industry toward fresh, locally sourced products and consumer preferences for high-quality fish products. Chicago's position as a major transportation hub and food distribution center makes it an ideal destination for Mississippi catfish, with excellent connections to markets throughout the Midwest and beyond. The city's diverse restaurant scene and large population of consumers who appreciate fresh fish products create strong demand that supports premium pricing for live-transported catfish. Innovation in transport vehicle design continues to push the boundaries of what's possible in live fish transport, with new truck designs incorporating advanced materials, more efficient life support systems, and improved monitoring capabilities that enhance fish survival while reducing operational costs. Hybrid and electric vehicle technologies are being evaluated for their potential application in live fish transport, though the power requirements of life support systems present unique challenges for alternative fuel vehicles. Autonomous vehicle technology may eventually play a role in these operations, though the need for human oversight of living cargo will likely require continued driver involvement for the foreseeable future. The training and certification programs for drivers and support personnel in these operations have evolved into sophisticated educational programs that combine classroom instruction with hands-on experience in fish biology, equipment operation, and emergency procedures. Many companies partner with aquaculture programs at universities and technical colleges to develop curriculum that prepares workers for careers in specialized live animal transport. Continuing education ensures that personnel stay current with evolving technology, regulations, and best practices that improve operational success. Environmental considerations play an increasingly important role in these transport operations, with companies implementing measures to reduce fuel consumption, minimize waste, and ensure that transport activities don't negatively impact the communities along their routes. Water used in transport systems is carefully managed to prevent contamination of local water supplies, while waste products are disposed of according to environmental regulations. Fuel efficiency improvements not only reduce operational costs but also minimize the carbon footprint of these transport operations. The future of live catfish transport looks promising with growing demand for fresh, high-quality fish products and continued improvements in transport technology that make longer distances and larger volumes economically viable. Expansion into new markets beyond Chicago is being evaluated, with potential routes to other major metropolitan areas that could support the premium pricing necessary for profitable live fish transport. International markets may eventually become accessible as transport technology continues to improve and regulatory frameworks develop to support cross-border live fish shipments. Supply chain integration is becoming more sophisticated as catfish farms, transport companies, and Chicago buyers develop closer relationships that optimize the entire process from production to final sale. Advanced planning systems coordinate harvest schedules with transport availability and market demand, reducing waste and improving efficiency throughout the supply chain. Information sharing between all participants helps identify opportunities for improvement and ensures that problems are addressed quickly before they can affect product quality or customer satisfaction. The success of these Mississippi to Chicago catfish transport operations has inspired similar services for other species and routes, demonstrating the potential for live fish transport to revolutionize seafood distribution throughout North America. The lessons learned from catfish transport are being applied to other species with different biological requirements, expanding the range of fresh fish products that can be transported alive over long distances. This technology transfer is creating new opportunities for fish farmers in remote locations to access premium markets that were previously unreachable. The story of giant water trucks moving live catfish from Mississippi to Chicago in 12 hours represents more than just an impressive logistical achievement. It demonstrates how innovation, technology, and dedication can overcome seemingly impossible challenges to create new markets and opportunities. These operations prove that with the right combination of equipment, expertise, and commitment, even the most demanding transport requirements can be met successfully. As consumer demand for fresh, high-quality seafood continues to grow, the innovations pioneered by these catfish transport operations will likely play an increasingly important role in feeding America's appetite for fresh fish products while supporting rural communities and urban businesses alike.